In tonight's news, the former student who allegedly sexually assaulted a female student was charged today in the Story County Court.
Also, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton came to Iowa this week on the Rock the Vote bus made a stop on campus today.
We've got the details on the story and more. Stay tuned here on ISUtv.
Welcome to tonight's broadcast of Newswatch. I'm Paul Hadish.
And I'm Annebeth Ahrenholz. Thank you for joining us. Interstate 80 will remain open in eastern Iowa despite heavy flooding from the Cedar River. The Department of Transportation has been monitoring the water levels in relation to a bridge near Cedar Rapids. During the floods of 2008, this section of the interstate was closed and drivers had to detour to Highway 30, causing delays in commutes. Currently, the Cedar River water levels stand at 21 feet, 9 feet above average. DOT officials say the bridge will not be an issue, but water can flow into nearby ditches and flood on ramps if the levels continue to rise.
This week saw both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton make appearances in Iowa following Monday's debate. Supporters lined up hours in advance of Donald Trump's rally in Council Bluffs on Wednesday. Trump focuses more on his opponent's ongoing email scandal and told the crowd, "We are going to end the Clinton corruption." Clinton stopped in Des Moines today and spoke primarily about her plans for infrastructure, family rights, the economy, and plans for college affordability. Both candidates made stops in Iowa in an effort to encourage Iowans to register to vote in the upcoming election. Currently, Trump trails behind Clinton by 3 points in the polls.
Racing at the Iowa State Fair Speedway will be ending for the foreseeable future. The decision by Iowa State Fair CEO Garrett Kroeger came as a shock to promoters, racers, and fans, as Slater had promised that there would be racing at Iowa State Fair Speedway for years to come. There are no plans to rebuild the track and no plans to add racing as a fairground activity in future fairs. The Iowa State Fair Speedway website, isfspeedway.com, intends to remain active for information and updates.
A Story County judge has sentenced former ISU student Patrick Henry Whetstone to serve 2 years of probation and register as a sex offender after he pled guilty to assault with intent to commit sex abuse. The incident occurred in March 2014 after sexually assaulting a female student while she was unconscious. The female former student has said that ISU officials did not properly handle her case. President Leith has since claimed that the school will be taking sexual assault investigations much more seriously in the future.
ISU has reached yet another record high in enrollment this fall. Patrick Lammer has the story.
It's just so crowded, and I don't know. I feel like my freshman year there was actually like room to breathe, but it doesn't really seem like that's the case anymore.
Iowa State University has posted a record student enrollment of 36,660 students for this school year. This is the 8th consecutive year Iowa State's numbers have grown. This can mean for students that some places on campus may be more crowded than they used to be.
I bike every day, and I'll be like biking in the road, and then like people will just like walk in front of me without even looking, and then there's been like 2 times this week where I've had to just slam my brakes and like slide out and almost hit someone, and then they give me a dirty look, and I'm like, well, you're not even supposed to be crossing here. Walking to and from places in the MU, and there's just hordes of people in the hallway.
The university is having to make some changes to accommodate the new students while striving to maintain high quality. Downsizing of student meal bundles has been put into effect this fall to make sure there is enough food to go around.
I'm pretty disappointed with like the meal bundle situation now. I'm very upset that they cut sides down from 3 to 2. I'm a growing boy. I don't know how they expect me to be satisfied with just 2 sides. String cheese is also considered a side now, so.
Other projects to help accommodate students include new dorms opening up on the top floors of the Memorial Union, that has been formerly the Memorial Union Hotel, as well as the $47 million Buchanan II expansion that will house 700 undergraduates. For ISUtv, with Paul Hadish, I'm Patrick Lamar.
The big Rock the Vote bus was outside of the Memorial Union today to help students register to vote. This nonpartisan organization has been traveling across the country to different universities to educate millennials of the importance of voting. Whether you are from out of state or plan on voting in Iowa, the registration process takes minutes. Visit rockthevote.com to register.
This week is Human Sciences Week here at ISU Human Sciences Week. The week is a showcase of the college and human science and their accomplishments. Events this week have included pizza sales, lectures, and cherry pie sales, which was once a Visha tradition. Human Sciences Week also held a study abroad fair. Today's events included life skills seminars such as Event Planning 101 and Healthy Lifestyle Learning. Tomorrow's events include a barbecue lunch, raising money for United Way of Story County, and the College of Human Sciences Scholarship donor and recipient recognition. Coming up after the break, details on the shooting at a South Carolina elementary.
And the study abroad fair that was put on yesterday by the College of Human Sciences. You're watching Newswatch. Colombians will vote whether to legally ratify the peace treaty between the Colombian government and the rebel group FARC on Sunday. The two groups are now at peace with each other after a war that lasted over 50 years. The leaders of the two signed the peace accord last Sunday with a pen made from a bullet casing. Attendees of the signing, which took place on Monday in Cartagena, wore white to signify peace. Among the attendees were UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, Cuban President Raul Castro, and the U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry. The European Union has removed FARC from its list of terrorist groups.
Police have yet to release the identity of a shooter who injured 2 students and 1 teacher at a South Carolina elementary playground on Wednesday. They have released that the suspected shooter was a 14-year-old male whose father was found dead around the same time of the shootings. 1 student has been treated and released while the other remains in critical condition. The condition of the teacher is unknown. Authorities say that the shooter had not entered the school building before he was apprehended. It is believed that the shooting was not premeditated.
The College of Human Sciences hosted their own study abroad fair yesterday. Our own Annebeth Ahrenholz has the story.
It's Human Sciences Week at Iowa State University, with several events going on throughout the week. One of the many events was a study abroad fair in LeBaron Hall. At the fair, students had the opportunity to learn about several programs outside the United States.
Primarily, we're doing faculty-led study abroad, but we also had the Study Abroad Center come in, LAS came in. So we're really just trying to make sure that our students are aware of all the opportunities that they have to study abroad. And one of our programs is actually partially service learning focused as well.
Sophomore Margaret Badalski got to share her experience in the Bahamas to fellow students attending the fair.
It was so much fun going to the Bahamas and to learn about the culture, the economics of living on a small island, and also the event and hospitality management industry there on a small island too. I put together a poster with pictures and to kind of just be able to show them how much fun I had through those pictures and interests that they might have on going. Fun to see that they might get to have a great experience like I did.
Both Williams and Badalski encourage students that might be on the fence to take advantage of study abroad opportunities.
I know that we have 3 different scholarship opportunities available, so students are able to apply to any of those 3, whichever they're eligible for. So we do have scholarship opportunities.
One of the biggest benefits from going on a study abroad trip is to be put out of your comfort zone and to enjoy it, and to get to do that with other students is a great opportunity.
There are many events taking place for Human Sciences Week, including lectures around campus and a barbecue lunch and scholarship ceremony on Friday. Along with Jared Calvert, I'm Annebeth Ahrenholz, ISUtv.
Montreal has now banned pit bulls within city limits. 4 months after a pit bull attack that claimed the life of a Montreal woman, the ban has passed. The ban only affects new ownerships of pit bulls. The city had planned on updating their regulations on dangerous dogs by 2018, but the plan was accelerated after the mauling of a 55-year-old woman. The dog that attacked her was identified as a pit bull, but officially now say they are awaiting DNA results before they confirm. Montreal is not the first city that has banned pit bulls. Most cities that have already passed such laws have since repealed them.
A passenger train crashed into one of the busiest stations in the Hoboken, New Jersey this morning. One person has been reported as deceased and upwards amounts of 100 others have been injured. The crash occurred around 8:45 this morning when the train slammed into the barriers meant to stop it, jolting commuters on the train and sending terminal debris flying, killing a passerby. According to transit workers, the first train car was completely destroyed. The cause of the crash has yet to be determined. Train service from Hoboken has been shut down, but local ferries and buses have started accepting New Jersey train tickets as a result of the accident.
A Utah man died of Zika virus, but not before transmitting the disease to his son. This lead a team at the University of Utah School of Medicine to come to conclusion that Zika can also be spread by blood, sweat, and tears in some cases. The 73-year-old man was not very sick when he contracted the disease meaning the virus can occasionally kill people who are not frail and ill. After the patient returned from a trip to Mexico, he developed muscle aches, diarrhea, and other symptoms. He died 4 days after showing symptoms. Shortly after his death, his 38-year-old son got sick and developed a rash that is characteristics of the Zika virus. The son had not accompanied his father in Mexico, and the mosquito that spread Zika is not found in Utah.
Angry protests are underway at the University of Missouri after reports that black students were called racial slurs on Tuesday night outside of a fraternity house on campus. Just before midnight, a white student allegedly called 2 female students the N-word. Other students came to her aid and called police to the scene. As police arrived outside the Delta Upsilon fraternity house, members began yelling a variety of obscenities. Around 50 protesters were gathered Wednesday afternoon on the campus to voice their opinions on the racist incident. Several similar incidents took place on the Missouri campus within the last year.
The death of 2 American sisters is being investigated after they were found dead in their hotel room during their luxurious vacation at the island of May in Mahi in the Seychelles. These sisters were 37 and 42 years old, and their families are devastated, some of them even coming to the island to try to find answers. Preliminary investigation showed there was no sign of violence or any marks on the bodies when they were found in their hotel room. An autopsy is scheduled for later this week, which will hopefully provide everyone with more answers.
We're joined at the desk by weatherman Satre. Zane, what's the weather looking like this evening? How's it pronounced?
It's Zane Satre. But
Zane
you know what?
Satre.
That's good enough. It happens all the time. Have you guys been enjoying the fall weather that we finally had this week?
Yeah.
I know, it's pretty good. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about a continued stretch of fall weather and talk about how long that's going to last in just a couple minutes. And welcome back to Newswatch. Currently here in Ames, we're sitting at 59 degrees. The winds are just a light breeze out of the north at 7 miles per hour, and the dew point is at a comfortable 49 degrees. Across the great state of Iowa, most of us are sitting in the mid-50s except for Des Moines right now, still hanging out at 67 degrees right there, so it's warm down in the city at this hour. Across, you can see our clouds and radar. It's just nice and clear out there. The only clouds you can see on the map are off to the east due to we've got an upper-level low-pressure system that's kind of spinning off to the south and east of the state of Iowa. So that's very good news for our friends in eastern Iowa who've been dealing with this flooding the past week or so. We still have flood warnings along the Cedar River and the Iowa River in eastern Iowa. They've been dealing with this for a long time. The Cedar River, for example, at Cedar Rapids just finally crested on Tuesday, and it's going to stay above flood stage until Sunday. So they're by all means not totally out of the woods yet. So this clear weather is going to be very good for them. So futurecast, you can see we're going to keep those clear skies through this evening. That upper level low off to our south and east is going to kind of just spin around. As we move into Friday tomorrow, however, it's going to kind of shift its way towards us a little bit, spinning off some clouds from the north and east, and those will work their way more in through tomorrow into Saturday until we get into Saturday morning, pretty much overcast skies across the state, but it'll still be dry, so no rain to worry about. Lows tonight across the state mostly going to range in the mid-40s to the west, off to the mid-50s to the east. Here in Ames, we're going to hang out at about 48 degrees when you wake up tomorrow morning. A nice crisp night, just some light winds from the north. Tomorrow, it's going to be another beautiful day, mostly sunny for the most part. Highs will get up into the mid-60s in the east, where there will be a little bit more clouds, and then off to the west, they'll break into the 70s under more sunshine, let them heat up a little bit more. Here in Ames, though, we're going to be at about 67 degrees tomorrow. Mostly sunny. It'll be a beautiful fall-like day. Our average high is somewhere around 70 this time of year, so this is a nice stretch of weather we got. And then winds out of the northeast, just light, around 5 to 10. If you're going to head out on Saturday morning to watch Iowa State take on Baylor at Jack Trice Stadium, kickoff 11 a.m., 61 degrees. If you're headed out to the tailgating lots early in the morning, mostly in the mid-50s. It'll be cloudy skies for most of the day, so you won't have to worry about any kind of sunburning, all that kind of stuff. It'll be a beautiful fall day for college football. So your extended forecast, there's that sunny day tomorrow, high 67. Saturday, very similar, just more overcast skies. And then a beautiful rest of the weekend. Sunday, sunny and 70. Monday, very similar, just a chance of rain maybe on Tuesday. And then Wednesday and Thursday, highs will be in the 60s. Stay with us. Sports with Garrett is coming up next.
Welcome back to Newswatch. I'm Garrett Kroeger with your weekly sports report. For the first time since 1999, the Iowa State hockey team is ranked #1 in the American Collegiate Hockey Association polls. The Cyclones claimed the top spot in the polls after sweeping their series with the Missouri State Ice Bears, beating them 6-1 last Friday and 7-4 Saturday. Top-ranked Iowa State will defend its throne as it travels to Bensenfield, Illinois, to take on number 11 Robert Morris this weekend. The Iowa State soccer team returns to Ames after getting dominated by the Texas Tech Red Raiders 3-0 last weekend. The Cyclones were outmatched the entire game as they were outshot 15-9. In fact, Iowa State didn't get its first shot off until the 63rd minute after already allowing 2 goals. The Cyclones will kick off their 5-game homestand tomorrow night at 7 p.m. against the Oklahoma Sooners. Tebow Mania is back, but not on the gridiron. This time he's on the baseball diamond. Back on September 8th, Tim Tebow signed a deal with the New York Mets. Now, Tebow isn't playing with the Mets. He is, as of right now, playing with the Mets Instructional League team. And at his first time back at the plate, back on September 23rd, the former Heisman winner smashed a home run on the first pitch he saw. However, Tebow did finish 1 for 6 on the day, but if that home run should be any sort of sign to what his baseball career holds for him, Tebow may be in for a good baseball career. Cyclone football will return to Jack Trice this Saturday as they take on the undefeated number 13 Baylor Bears on 11 a.m. kickoff. Iowa State fans witnessed the first win of the Matt Campbell era this past Saturday as the Cyclones defeated the San Jose State Spartans 44-10. The Cyclones were led by the newly dubbed Thunder and Lightning duo, quarterbacks Joel Lanning and Jacob Park. The two signal callers combined for 316 yards and 5 touchdowns. Running back Mike Warren also had a strong day as he rushed for a season-high 103 yards and 1 touchdown. The ISU defense also had themselves a day as it forced 4 turnovers. Let's hope that this stroke of luck wasn't just a temporary thing. Find out and watch the next game Saturday on Fox Sports 1. Former legendary Iowa quarterback Randy Duncan passed away yesterday at the age of 79. Duncan, a college football Hall of Famer, was the last Hawkeye quarterback to win a Rose Bowl way back in 1958. He attended Roosevelt High School in Des Moines, was a runner-up for the Heisman Trophy in 1958, and was drafted first overall by the Green Bay Packers. After his football career, Duncan would run a successful law firm in Des Moines as he received a law degree from Drake University. And that's all I have for your sports today. Don't go anywhere. Annebeth and Paul will be back after the break.
You might think of pumpkin pie. However, reports have been released showing that canned pumpkin used in pumpkin pie isn't made with any pumpkin at all. Even brands advertising 100% pumpkin aren't using any. So what is actually in those pies? Squash. Companies use a variety of types of squash, especially butternut squash. The Food and Drug Administration does not have strict standards on what qualifies as pumpkin, which allows companies to do this. This is said to be because real pumpkin is too stringy, isn't as sweet, and becomes too watery during the canning process.
If you are cramming for exams or projects this evening, you might be happy to know that today is National Coffee Day. According to the International Coffee Association, the holiday started in 2015, but it was celebrated on October 1st that year. Despite its popularity here in the United States, our country ranks in 25th place for coffee consumption per person per capita. Americans drank approximately 6.8 pounds of coffee per person in 2014. Coffee businesses are offering deals to celebrate the occasion. Dunkin' Donuts is offering 60-cent medium-sized cups that also celebrate their 66th anniversary. And that's all we have today for News Today.
Thanks for watching and have a good rest of your night and week. Stay classy, Cyclones.